This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Maine's Attorney General has ruled police were justified when they shot a man in Wilton. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. The incident happened on July 11th when a deputy went to a home to serve eviction papers to 35-year-old Gabriel Wilbur. Officials say Wilbur had threatened to kill workers who were hired to clean the property and also threatened to commit suicide by cop. A standoff ensued and a deputy and a state trooper shot Wilbur when he pointed what turned out to be a BB gun at the officers. Wilbur survived and is currently serving 8 months in jail on charges of creating a police standoff and reckless conduct. The Attorney General ruled the officers were justified when they used deadly force against Wilbur. Maine will receive a boost in heating assistance funding after a push from Senator Susan Collins. Our Alexa Kennedy joins us now live in studio with those details. Alexa.
Thanks, Beth. A bipartisan effort in Washington, led by Senator Collins, secured more than $4.3 million in additional federal heating assistance. Collins says the LIHEAP program, which helps low-income families and seniors pay for heating costs, is vital for many Maine residents. The latest funding comes from the federal level, where remaining LIHEAP funds had been held up. Collins, along with Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed, led a bipartisan effort urging the Office of Management and Budget to release the money. Collins says the program is vital, with about 45,000 Maine households relying on it to stay warm during the winter.
I'm pleased that we've been successful in getting the rest of this money released to the state. Both of us care a great deal about making sure that no senior citizen or low-income family in Maine has to choose between keeping warm and other necessities during the cold winter months.
She emphasizes that this year's need has been especially high due to colder temperatures and rising heating oil prices. For more information on the Heating Assistance Program, visit our website.
Thank you for that update, Alexa. In other news tonight, Prescription Drug Take-Back Day is this Saturday, an opportunity for folks to clean out medicine cabinets and keep communities safe. Our Callie Warren explains the details and the importance.
Prescription Drug Take-Back Day happens twice a year, every year. And every year, the Holden Police Department sees over 100 pounds of unwanted prescription medication disposed of.
Yeah, just the risk of those prescriptions can be like stolen or misused.
Holden Police Chief Eddie Benjamin is encouraging everyone to safely dispose of unwanted drugs and medication. He says they should never be flushed down the toilet or placed in a trash can, but rather taken to a disposal drop box. And the perfect opportunity is on Saturday.
Drug Take Back Day. They do one time in the spring, one time in the fall. So if you get a chance, please bring your unused medication to us on Saturday. Between 10 in the morning and 2 p.m. and you'll be gladly dispose that for you.
Not all medications can be placed in these drop boxes. Unacceptable items include liquids and sharps. However, your local police department may be able to help you dispose of those items as well.
If you have a couple of syringes, you can bring to us here. We have a disposal box and you can make sure that it's disposed safely.
For those at the Bangor Area Recovery Network who work with individuals in all stages of recovery, they say that the importance of properly disposing of your prescription medications cannot be overstated.
Being able to make sure that we can dispose of it safely in the right way to protect others is really important. So you want to make sure that that is out of reach or disposed of correctly, because honestly, anything can happen, and I've seen it.
There are so many options available for safe disposal of unwanted medications. Visit our website, foxbangor.com, for more information. Callie Warren reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
If you live in the town of Penobscot or travel through that area, a major road project will likely affect your route for weeks to come. Starting today, Bayview Road, also known as Route 175, will be closed to traffic for up to 4 weeks to replace a failing culvert and rebuild the road at Mill Creek. The town says the project will raise the road elevation, replace a failing granite culvert, and install a larger capacity concrete culvert. The project's goal is to reduce flooding during storms and king tides and improve long-term safety and resilience. It will also help fish passage and wildlife passage as well, including the alewife. There will be detours in place, so be aware and give yourself extra time to reach your destination. The town has posted plans for school transportation and emergency services on its Facebook page. And speaking of the alewife, volunteers are needed to help the town of Penobscot document their alewife population. In Penobscot, the alewife harvest is co-managed by the town and the Department of Marine Resources. The town is pushing to retain its right to manage the fish locally. Part of that effort includes documenting how many alewives return to the pond each spring, so they set up a counting station, and volunteers count the alewives, then notify the state. They need volunteers to come and count fish entering the pond for 30 minutes each, and then record the data.
The state requires 235 fish per acre to have a sustainable resource. So this pond needs somewhere around 27,000 fish entering the pond to have a sustainable resource.
He says the town has done a lot of fish weigh improvement, and he says they've seen the population triple in the last few years. The alewife is popular with lobstermen as a less expensive alternative bait, and many do enjoy smoking and eating them as well. He says if the population satisfies the state and stays level, they hope to have a commercial alewife fishery in the town come 2029. We'll have contact information for signing up on our website. That's foxbangor.com. Well, with Mother's Day coming up and spring well underway, many folks may want flowers and plants in their homes or to give as gifts. But if you have furry friends in your home, local veterinarians say you should be very careful. Many household plants and flowers can cause harm to your pets, especially cats. Lilies are extremely dangerous to cats, and even being around their pollen can cause death. For dogs, ingesting any part of the lily flower can cause gastrointestinal issues. If you have lilies and notice any bite marks on the plants, bring your cat to the vet immediately. Daffodils, tulips, peonies, hydrangeas, hyacinths, and rhododendrons can cause issues if ingested for both cats and dogs and can be severe in certain cases. However, roses, orchids, sunflowers, petunias, and Gerber daisies are safe and non-toxic. Veterinarians advise pet parents do their research before bringing blooms into your home.
Especially for the cats and the lilies, it is very concerning and very hard because you just bought someone you love flowers for a happy holiday and then your pet gets very, very ill. The times to really call the vet and be really concerned is when they're really dumpy, they're not wanting to eat, they're not acting themselves.
Well, for more information on pet-safe plants and flowers, visit the story on our website. That is foxbangor.com. Well, if you looked outside today and saw snow, your eyes were not playing tricks on you, unfortunately. A brief snow shower did roll through the area this afternoon. Luckily, nothing really stuck, but it was just enough to remind folks that spring in Maine is unpredictable, and it may not be time just yet to swap out your drawers for your summer wardrobe, unfortunately. Let's get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you, Beth. And of course, it is never too late for snow here in Maine, especially in the month of April. But our first weather today is brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. And speaking of snow, a little bit still out there for today. Taking a look at the radar, you can see snow. Some light snow showers are just north of town, and we're getting mainly rain here in Bangor and to the south as well. But as temperatures fall, we can still see a few flurries making their way into town for tonight before we get decreasing clouds later. So as you can see for your highs today, mids upper 40s here in Bangor and along your coastline. We did see Portland reach near 54 today, but of course much cooler as you went further north. You saw the snow showers out there. 40 in Millinocket for your high, but temperatures have fallen then. You're looking at mid-30s in Greenville and right at freezing for Clayton Lake's high today. So for tonight, you're going to see clearer skies, right? And that's really going to allow for some radiational cooling. Winds will be light after a little bit of a breeze out there, and that's going to bring our lows back into the low 20s. But don't worry, some sunshine for tomorrow is going to increase our highs back into the upper 40s. Some of us can reach near 50 with a few more clouds off to the west. So your overnight player shows tonight, the clear skies and light winds look to drop our lows down into the low 20s for tonight. Beth?
Thank you, Chase. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, after an extensive search, Maine Autobahn is pleased to announce they've selected a new president. And thousands of people across Maine will get a packed meal thanks to University Credit Union employees. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Find your flavor at Black Sheep Restaurant in Sullivan. Breakfast so good on Tuesdays, even the toast gets a standing ovation. Wednesday to Saturday, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sundays, we brunch 9 to 1. Black Sheep Restaurant, where the food is bold and the sheep are only slightly judgmental.
Diabetes isn't a death sentence, but it is absolutely a life sentence, and you have to figure out how you're going to keep your kid alive. So when you find somebody from the government that's on your side, and it happens to be Susan Collins at the same time, that was just magnificent. After the meeting in Portland for my wife and son, my wife came back. She was 10 feet tall. She'd felt seen, she felt heard, and she felt like we had a powerful advocate on our side. It was a big step towards healing.
Thank you, Senator Collins.
Please continue delivering for T1 families.
Do you have a wet basement, nasty crawl space, settling foundation, sinking concrete, or clogged gutters? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basement-y. For over 30 years, thousands of homeowners throughout Maine and southeastern New Hampshire have trusted TC Hafford. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, stabilizing foundations, concrete leveling, and gutter installation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems for all things basement-y.
At Bogey's in Bangor, you don't have to pick between great food and great fun. Dig into elevated comfort food, grab a drink, and kick back with your crew. Then turn up the friendly competition with axe throwing and interactive games. Play world-class courses and more on our high-tech sports simulators. All week, there's something going on. Ladies' night with free golf lessons, college deals, trivia, karaoke, and live music every Friday. Bogey's on Stillwater Avenue in Bangor. You bring the crew, we'll bring the fun.
Find your flavor at Black Sheep Restaurant in Sullivan. Breakfast so good on Tuesdays, even the toast gets a standing ovation. Wednesday to Saturday, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sundays, we brunch 9 to 1. Black Sheep Restaurant, where the food is bold and the sheep are only slightly judgmental.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. The current commissioner of the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife is stepping down from her role with that agency and stepping into a new one as president of Maine Audubon. Judy Camuso served the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife for nearly 2 decades and was appointed commissioner in 2019. She was the first woman to lead the agency. Her new role at Maine Audubon is actually a homecoming of sorts, as she began her career there nearly 30 years ago as a seasonal biologist and staff naturalist. Judy Camuso will also be the first woman to lead Maine Audubon since its founding more than 100 years ago. Well, a group of Mainers turned a day off into a day of giving back, as our Alex Schley tells us. Thanks to employees from University Credit Union, thousands of folks across Maine will not go without.
At the Augusta Civic Center Monday, University Credit Union employees came together not just to clock out, but to step up in celebration of National Volunteer Week.
Every box feeds over 200 people, so this team alone fed 4,000 people.
Employees spent the day scooping, pouring, and packing meals for food pantries across Maine.
Today we're going to pack over 41,000 boxes, and they're going to go as high as Presque Isle and as low down as Portland and even beyond.
More than 100 employees took part, working in teams to assemble meals.
They're going to get one of 2 meals. One is apple cinnamon oatmeal and the other mac and cheese. And each packet provides 6 servings out there for those that are getting those in the food pantries.
With the credit union closed for Patriots Day, many employees would have otherwise had the day off.
I mean, the day off might be nice, but honestly, being able to give back to our community in these ways is really, it's priceless.
Organizers say this is part of the credit union's annual Here For You Day of Service, held in conjunction with its Ending Hunger campaign.
People helping people is a philosophy that credit unions were built on, and being able to be out in our communities is something we're really passionate about. But this is an opportunity for us to all come together and make that difference for our communities.
Once packed, organizers say many of the employees hand-deliver the meals to pantries across the state. In Augusta, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, we are finally seeing somewhat of a downward slide in prices at the pump. According to Gas Buddy's survey of 1,200 stations across our state, average gasoline prices in Maine have fallen 6 cents per gallon in the last week, now averaging around $3.97 a gallon. That's roughly 20 cents per gallon higher than a month ago and 98 cents per gallon higher than a year ago. Patrick DeHaan is head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy. He says that while the decrease did bring some level of relief, we are not out of the woods yet. He said, quote, with global oil flows remaining at risk, renewed volatility is taking hold, and the continued back and forth is making any lasting resolution increasingly fragile. As a result, gasoline prices are likely to rise again in the days ahead, with diesel expected to follow if disruptions persist. And many of the states that exhibit price cycling could see increases in the next 24 to 48 hours. Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey was in Augusta to highlight a group of culinary students that have punched their ticket to nationals. And in sports, a Maine basketball star has inked a contract to join an Australian pro team, and we'll have that story after the break.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event with the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Mainers know what to do after an accident.
Call the experts.
Call Joe.
Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers.
Fighting and winning for injured Mainers for over 50 years.
The law offices of Joe Bornstein.
The name you know and the firm you trust.
Representing injured Mainers in all 16 counties. Get Joe's team working for you today.
207 call Joe
or online at joebornstein.com.
Accidents happen. To be their specialty.
Tell them you made business.
Is that a compression nut?
Oh!
We got a duct taper.
Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sportage.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event with the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Welcome back in, folks. We have a lot of national coverage to get to, but let's start locally where we have news out of the University of Maine as women's basketball star Adriana Smith has signed a professional basketball contract. On Monday, the Black Bears announced that Smith has officially signed a contract with the Dandenong Rangers Australian basketball team. She will begin competing immediately as their season began back in March. During her 5 years at Maine, Smith won the America East Player of the Year twice and was named a member of the All-Conference team 3 separate times. In 2025, Smith averaged over 20 points and 10 assists per game and helped wheel the Black Bears to an appearance in the America East title game versus Vermont. The Cup playoffs have officially kicked off this past weekend, and the Boston Bruins traveled to Western New York for Game 1 versus the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo was absolutely buzzing for their first game in 15 years in the playoffs, but Boston would quiet the crowd early. Pasternak's shot goes off of Dahlin, cleaned up by Morgan Geekie, and he scores. It's 1-0 Boston. Fast forward to the third period, Buffalo cannot get anything going. Bruins in the zone. Geekie fires again, hits the post, but the shot gets put back by Lindholm, and he makes it 2-0. 8 to go in the third. Buffalo under pressure in the zone. Tage Thompson behind the net. Wraparound shot. He scores. 1 point game. Less than 4 minutes later, Buffalo attacking again. Puck is loose. Thompson grabs it, fires the 5-hole, scores. And then a minute later in a tied game, Jack Quinn passed to Matthias Samuelsson. He fires, scores, and Buffalo has the lead. Alex Tuck would put it on ice with an empty netter right here, and the Sabres would steal game 1, 4-3. Bruins head coach Marco Sturm says that he could feel the energy in the building change in the third period, and that was the reason they dropped the game.
You could tell they got a little bit frustrated. And yeah, we made pretty much 2 mistakes to let them tie up the game, and then obviously with the crowd behind, all of a sudden they got some life, and all of a sudden the game is done.
Now let's check in with the Boston Red Sox, who took on the Detroit Tigers on Monday morning. Tigers claimed the first 2 games of this series. We start in the second inning. Carlos Nereves at bat for Boston. He bunts it. Runner on third is Caleb Durbin. A little back and forth, but he scores. Top of the fourth now. Hao Yu Lee with a nice hit to center field, and Dylan Dinger walks it in to tie. Jahmai Jones hits one to center in the sixth, and that sends Riley Green to home plate to give the Tigers the lead. Then in the bottom of the seventh, Sox are going to take it back with Rafaela's hit to send Yoshida and Story home, and it's 5-3 Boston. 2 scores on a beautiful right field hit. And in the bottom of the eighth, Kenner fires it into center field. Yoshida and Story score again. 8-3 Boston. And things got scary in the ninth when Detroit came clawing back, but the Sox avoided the sweep for an 8-6 victory. That's all the time we have for sports. Here's your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you very much. Your main weather tonight is brought to you by Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Ride smart, ride safe, enjoy the weekend, and enjoy the road with Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers in Boothbay Harbor. All right, as you see for those highs today, mid-40s here in Bangor. A little bit of mixture of rain and snow out there for today. Mostly rain along your coastline. Portland at 54 today, but you have the better chances for snow as you went further north. 34 in Greenville, right at 40 for Millinocket, but still much cooler temperatures, low to mid-30s in Clayton Lake and Presque Isle this afternoon. Now, for tonight, we're seeing decreasing clouds getting out of here early on, so that's going to leave us with some more clear skies for tonight. With winds going light, we're looking at radiational cooling on going out there tonight. Our models got us in the upper 20s, but I got us forecasted for 21 degrees tonight, and you can see the possibility of some teens in Monson, Millinocket, as it's shown here in Clayton Lake as well, with their low around 17 degrees. Now, heading into tomorrow, we're going to see some sunshine early on, some increasing clouds throughout the day, but still allowing that sunshine into the evening hours. So yes, our models here have us in the mid-40s. I got us forecasted at 49 for tomorrow. Some of us could touch near 50 with that sunshine for your Tuesday. So the average high is in the mid-50s. We're going to be in the upper 40s for tomorrow, so I apologize. I said 49 for tomorrow, but it's 48. But we will have a 49-degree temperature on Thursday. As we get throughout the rest of your week, highs much closer to average. Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday, looking at mid to upper 50s then. So don't worry, the warm-up is on the way. It's going to arrive just in time for your weekend. So a little bit of breezy winds on the backside of the system for today from the northwest. We're gusting near 20 miles per hour at time, some of us near 25, but the winds are going to come to a halt tonight, and that's going to allow those temperatures to really drop back into those low 20s. So clear skies for tonight, of course, with the light winds. That's a combination of radiational cooling, which will bring the cool temperatures back, but into tomorrow, we'll get some more southerly winds. It's going to help us reach into the upper 40s. A few clouds will make their way in later in the day, but still, pockets of sunshine will be out there and to be had for your Tuesday evening, allowing for a great sunset for tomorrow. But as you see, Wednesday, more cloud cover and some scattered light rain showers out there. Could be a little bit of snow, but our temperatures will be warmer overnight for tomorrow night into your Wednesday. So mostly rain showers, but some snow can return for your Wednesday night into your Thursday. So for tonight, we got lows in the low 20s, partly cloudy skies out there for tonight, calm winds. That's the reason why our temperatures are dropping down into the low 20s. For tomorrow, we're looking at highs back in the upper 40s, partly cloudy skies. Some of us may reach near 50 with enough sunshine for tomorrow, and winds staying light and variable throughout the day as well. So taking a look at your extended forecast, we do have rain chances back for your Wednesday. That can turn into a rain and snow chance Wednesday night, but again, highs back in the upper 40s Thursday, promoting that to transition all to rain showers again. Looking to stay light and scattered, so nothing too crazy. We'll dry out Friday with highs back in the low 50s and plenty of sunshine. Heading into your weekend on Saturday, we'll be right around 56 degrees then. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much, and there is still more to come. Stay with us.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Ready, set, let's go! Come to the open house at Greenway Equipment Sales in Bangor this Saturday and get geared up for the season. Celebrate spring and save on John Deere equipment. Take advantage of Deere season financing on John Deere compact utility and lawn tractors, Z-Tracks, and Gators. Save hundreds on tractor attachments. Get 10% off all in-stock parts. And grab one-day-only Greenway dollars for even more savings. The Smith Brothers invite you to their open house celebration this Saturday at Greenway Equipment Sales in Bangor.
My name is Rebecca Babrod, and I'm studying my master's in social work at the University of Maine. After high school, I went to college in upstate New York, but then got involved with life and family, so I had a college education, but no degree. When I first thought about going back to school, it seemed really intimidating. One of the great things about an online program is that you can combine studying as part of your day. I'm actually studying right now. It's such a great feeling to have made myself important in the process and to continue my education.
You can't see third-hand smoke, but you may smell it. Third-hand smoke is toxic chemicals left behind by smoking and vaping. These chemicals stick to surfaces in your home and car and linger for years. They're on floors, furniture, toys. Everywhere children and pets touch and play. What you can't see can still cause harm. Protect your family from third-hand smoke. Visit mainequitling.com to learn the risks.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Award-winning culinary students from the Capital Area Technical Center in Augusta are heading to nationals in Maryland. These high school juniors and seniors are hoping their cuisine wins them gold. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Cooking at the Capital Area Technical Center in Augusta is as competitive as athletics.
We treat it like our sports.
15 minutes.
So we actually have a tryout in mid-October.
These high school juniors and seniors are hospitality students that were hand-selected by judges that are past alumni or folks currently working in the culinary industry. Lane Tilton is the team's manager.
I'm a big protein guy. I love anything meat-related. Cooking meat is really fun.
Back in February, these rising chefs won the Maine Pro Start State Invitational with their Korean mandu dumplings, citrus miso duck breast, and chai tea steamed cake.
I'm the only repeat person, which is why they put me in charge of the entree, which is the part that gets judged the most heavily.
The team has been practicing those same 3 dishes so they can present them to the judges at the national competition in Baltimore, Maryland this weekend.
Heard.
The competition is timed, and each student's skills are put to the test.
You have 2 portable burners. That's it. No running water, no electricity. Nothing can be pre-measured. Everything has to be cooked within that 60 minutes. It has to be 3 courses.
Heidi Parent has been teaching culinary arts for 10 years. Her students have won 7 state titles and advanced to nationals 6 times. So this year's team knows exactly what's on the line.
We do have big shoes to fill, but I'm very confident in our team that we can fill them.
In Augusta, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
9 students and 2 instructors from KATC will be attending the national competition in Baltimore, Maryland from April 24th to April 26th. We wish them the very best of luck in that competition. Those entrees looked absolutely amazing, so we know they're going to do great. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. And for more, join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
ABC's David Muir, the most
Twitter. Now, after December of 2016, when the two of you separated, when was the last time the dog, what's the dog's name?
Stanley.
When was Stanley with Miss Walker on a full-time basis?
He was never with Miss Walker on a full-time basis.
Miss Walker, I'll ask you that question. Since December 2016, when was Stanley with you on a full-time basis?
From 2016 until 2018.
When in 2018?
December. Or actually November. I went into training in November. So that was the last time I had Stanley on a full-time basis when I lived with my mother.
So that would be November of
2017.
And 17.
Yeah.
Since November of 2017, the dog has not been in your full-time care.
Correct.
Okay. The dog stays with Mr. Mitchell. We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
Oh, I love it. I think it's absolutely fair.
I think it's beyond ridiculous.
It was purely about money for her. If she wanted the dog, she would have just sued me for the dog, not $5,000.
Because I decided to leave him and move on with my life. And he kept him out of spite.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
Maine's Attorney General has ruled police were justified when they shot a man in Wilton. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. The incident happened on July 11th when a deputy went to a home to serve eviction papers to 35-year-old Gabriel Wilbur. Officials say Wilbur had threatened to kill workers who were hired to clean the property and also threatened to commit suicide by cop. A standoff ensued and a deputy and a state trooper shot Wilbur when he pointed what turned out to be a BB gun at the officers. Wilbur survived and is currently serving 8 months in jail on charges of creating a police standoff and reckless conduct. The Attorney General ruled the officers were justified when they used deadly force against him. Well, Maine will receive a boost in heating assistance funding after a push from Senator Susan Collins. Our Alexa Kennedy joins us now live in studio with those details.